My name is Jakub Jasiczak. I'm from the world of university knowledge transfer companies. So what we do, we connect innovators with the market. And this pitching session will be precisely about that. So I'm going to moderate 2 pitching sessions. We're going to have 16 pitches in 2 hours. And the convention is like this, because my role is to be a timekeeper. So we have 5 minutes for each presentation. Then I'm going to ask you for 2 questions from the audience, and there will be a 1 minute to answer. So let's start this first session with 8 pitches. And the first one, let me introduce from City of Łódź, and I'm intrigued because this is the city who represents itself here, Adam Pustelnik. And please, to all, just remember, it is about presenting the offer, and it's about looking for possibilities to cooperate. So watch this, hear him, and think, how can we cooperate? What can we ask him, and how can we start the cooperation? This is the microphone, and present it for you.
And this is for the presentation, yeah?
Yep.
Sorry, left, right, or up, down?
Try right.
Oh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon. My name is Adam Pustelnik. I'm the Deputy Mayor of the City of Łódź. I'll try to be as honest and as concise as it's possible. However, in my profession, it's not so easy to be concise and honest, but I'll do my best.
Left. Okay.
Okay. Most of you, no matter if you're from Poland or from outside Poland, probably you've never heard about Łódź, or if you connected with anything in your head is factories, industry, and 2 poor performing football clubs. But it's actually a life science powerhouse. It's a life sciences powerhouse not because of some genius strategy or because of some brilliant idea of the local government, but because of history. During the communist times, the city was a place, or actually the agglomeration, where there were located several huge state-owned businesses called Polfas, and after the economic transformation, they've been privatized and transformed right now into market leaders in their segment, or have been purchased by global capital. And that's why right now in our agglomeration you have one of the biggest worldwide factories of Novartis. You have 2 facilities of Adam, at one of the Polish market leaders. You have a huge facility of Mabion. There is the biggest Polish non-prescription medicine producer, Aflofarm, and many others. With their factories, labs, R&D centers, and this is one of the fundamentals of the economy of an agglomeration that consists of approximately 1.2 million people. One of the sources and the results of the situation is that we have a very well functioning talent production mechanism in the Technical University of Łódź, where biotechnology is the only division in Poland, which is ranked on the Shanghai rank, or the only biotechnology, there are 2 biotechnology divisions in the country. Nevertheless, it's the only division of any university in our city that's in the Shanghai rank, and it's biotechnology. Shit. Sorry. There is a success in attracting capital or investment is usually based on a couple fundamentals. It's talent, location, incentives, capital, and some infrastructure. We also have a pretty unique infrastructure that's at the current stage. It's not exploiting its full potential. It's a city-owned entity that looks like Google headquarters. It's called BioNano Park. We pumped millions of EU subsidies to create the infrastructure, and right now we are restructuring together with some of the partners the facility, and we have already managed to attract a lot of R&D processes there. It's basically a huge city-owned set of labs in partnership with Technical University of Łódź, so it's a combination of facility, infrastructure, money, and talent. Still, we have a space to development there. We have plots, we have labs, and What's interesting, the plots can be used only for life sciences purposes. That's how it's written in our, let's say, city master plans. And one of the first companies that trusted this narrative and this facility is one of the global leaders in terms of biotech research, a French Luxembourg company, Eurofins, that built their lab campus there. Last but not least, it's the, I think, strongest pro-investment argument that we have right now. Because of the history and because of Polish legislation, Łódź is the only big city in Poland with such convenient public aid regulations. For example, according to new public aid regulations in Warsaw, no matter what you do, you cannot get exempted from corporate income tax, while in Łódź the level of public aid is the highest. It's designed so to compensate the costs of economic transformation that Łódź bore in the past, and right now that's why, comparing to other big Polish cities, the level of tax exemptions in our city is way higher than the other ones. Plus, especially for life sciences segment and R&D activities, the criteria are the most liberal. So you don't have to employ hundreds of people like in the production processes. The criteria are very, very liberal. So it's extremely easy to get exempted from corporate income tax if you represent life sciences segment in our city. Here you have a case study of Adamet, so you can pretty much see that it's quite large.
Last 10 seconds, please.
Sorry. Those are already the guys that trusted us. As I said, because of history, life sciences, one of the fundamentals of our local economy, and we have several of the really big guys. So we have the tax exemptions, the infrastructure, the talent, and a huge qualified talent pool that's already there. So in my opinion, we got every resource to be an attractive place to do life sciences business, and we hope that after this meeting, we will increase the number of those logos. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful conference.
And a big applause. I really enjoyed it. Guys, now there is a chance to ask two hard questions from students, from investors, from business. Okay, but what about? Who would like to ask Łódź about business?
Hi, my name is Martin Radecki, and I'm a owner of Vector engineering company from US and Ireland. You were talking about investment opportunities, right? So if you would like to establish an office in Łódź, is there any support that you give to engineering companies that support the big pharma, big biotech in their facility expansion, stuff like that?
It's not that we are focused on big ones. Actually, the instruments to deliver support, provide supports are easier and more convenient for small or medium-sized enterprises. Nevertheless, usually the ones that approach us to conduct big investments are usually big companies. However, if there is a small company or a mid-sized company, I would be as delighted as with supporting of Novartis or Glaxo. Nevertheless, most of the projects, the facilities, the labs currently delivered to the city have been led by big institutional capital. Nevertheless, the public aid levels and how the system is shaped, it favors small and medium enterprises. So it's legally easier for a company of yours to benefit from tax exemptions that Glaxo, Roche, etc. Nevertheless, most of them that already approach us are the big ones.
Do we have a second question now? The last one to the city. What about students? No. Okay, thank you very much one more time. I will just add that the medical university in Łódź is doing great work, and I like the tech transfer they do have. So there is a cooperation between science and business. Thank you.
It is, and it works well. And I also love Medical University of Łódź, and I would like to thank from here to Mr. Tadeusz Pietrucha, who is my friend. I don't know if he's here. He is one of the guys that was the founder of modern biotech and modern life sciences in our city, and we owe a lot to him as a city, and he started a lot of initiatives, and he's a professor of Medical University of Łódź.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.